Everything negative, the pressure, challenges, is all an opportunity for you to overcome the obstacles in your way. Being an athlete, you are tested every day. All you are wanting to do is compete at the highest level possible. Opportunities are endless if you never let anybody tell you otherwise. Being told countless times that you aren't good enough can break someone's confidence and kill their drive to want to be better. What makes you great doesn't define how you are at that exact moment, but it's how you respond when times get the hardest. Good things happen to those who work hard. Most coaches in the 90s wouldn't give walk-on guys the chance to actually show what they got, unless maybe they thought that guy was a diamond in the rough. Brandon Burlsworth was from a small town in Arkansas called Harrison. There was only about 11,000 people in the town. He grew up in a very religious family and was often made fun of for being fat. His nickname was Cheesecake because he would always sit on the couch, watch football, eat cheesecake and chips. Well, it's always been a dream of his since he was young to play at the University of Arkansas and be a Razorback. But not many people believed in him, and his coach always said to never care what anybody thinks but yourself. One of his first memories of playing football was at a young age. Brendan finally got put on the game on defense. He blew through two guys on the offensive line and got to the quarterback, but he didn't tackle him. He dove on the ground and held on to the quarterback's leg. After the play was over, his coach started screaming at him, calling him fat, and said he was never going to play another down on defense again. Coaches that do that break kids at a very young age. But that didn't stop the high school coach at Harrison to see the potential and drive to want to be better. So the coach came over to him after that play and gave him some words of encouragement and said, "If you want to be great, you need to be the first one there and the last one to leave." Brandon took that to heart, and every day since that day, he has done exactly that. Once Brandon got to high school, he was a late bloomer, and he didn't really get any chance to play until his junior year. His junior summer, he began a growth spurt and was working out hard a few times a day. Came into the season that year at 6'2" and over 200 pounds. He came back an absolute beast, and it didn't matter if he played defense or offense, he was lighting it up on the field, earning all-conference and all-state honors. He graduated in 1994 and was looking to move on to his dream and play college football, but his only goal was to be a Razorback at the University of Arkansas. Brandon had 2 scholarship offers coming out of high school, but that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a Razorback. He was invited on an unofficial visit to meet Coach Ford. When he arrived, Coach had no idea who he was and said if he wanted to walk on this team, you need to gain some weight first. He was undersized compared to the scholarship players, but Brandon was a guy willing to do anything to accomplish his dream. So he gained about 100 pounds before returning back to school for his first practice. He came back at over 300 pounds with 30% body fat. Brandon was a preferred walk-on, so he has a better opportunity to earn his way. Players and coaches all thought he wouldn't play one down of football at the University of Arkansas, but he took that as motivation and ran with it. During practice, you can tell he wasn't in shape, slow, and not as skilled as everybody else. He never had a thought of giving up, sacrificing anything to earn the players' and coaches' respect. It was going to take a while because his freshman year of college, Coach Ford mentioned he probably won't play and may redshirt, but the goal was to earn a scholarship because his mom took out a second mortgage on the house to pay for him to go to school for his first year. So he needed to earn it for the rest of the time there at Arkansas. Brandon belonged on that field, and coaches saw glimpses of potential in him because of his work ethic and willing to improve. Coach told him if he wants a chance to play on the field, he needs to lose some weight, because you can't be a good athlete with 30% body fat. So coach was willing to help him in a way to work out and turn all that fat into muscle. And he became very dominant. His teammates have said he worked harder than anyone, and how red his face would get, he would never give up. He didn't do too much his freshman year, but by the end of the season, Brandon had earned a full ride scholarship and became a 3-year starter. He was extremely focused and determined. He didn't really have a social life. Everyone else would go out and drink beer, watch football, and party. You know, all the things college kids would do. He instead went to coach and asked what he's got to do to play and be better. He worked harder than anyone in anything, and everyone noticed. Brandon is the definition of nothing into something. He became a leader in the process, becoming team captain by his junior season and earning first team SEC honors. He was well respected because of the way he carried himself. He carried himself extremely well off the field as well as he did on the field. Guys noticed that in him, and everybody eventually wants to be just like Brandon. Coach Ford, after his junior year in 1997, got fired because of the lack of success. Houston Nutt replaced him as head coach in the 98 season. Coach Nutt was looking for a rebuild for the future, so the seniors weren't in his sights to play the next year. But for Brandon, he still had something to prove, so he met with the new coach and told him not to give up on us. He had love for his teammates and wanted to win so bad, he would do anything. He would do anything for his team. Soon enough, the mentality for the team that coach stressed was he wanted everybody to do it the Burls way. In that 99 season, they did just that. That year, a lot of things changed. Brandon just touched those guys. They started going to Bible study. They started doing a lot of things together. And it was just an amazing effect that he had on all his teammates. That year, they started 8-0, playing against the number 1 team, Tennessee. 2 games away from being in the national championship, up 24-22 with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Brandon is playing right guard at the time, and Arkansas's quarterback trips over his foot and fumbles the football trying to go for the first down. 5 plays after that, Tennessee marches down the field and scores a touchdown to win. That year, Arkansas finished 9-2 in the regular season before losing to Michigan in the Citrus Bowl, and Burlsworth became the first Arkansas player to complete his master's degree before playing his final game. He was named an All-American at right guard in his senior year, giving him his dreams of becoming a professional football player that much sweeter. In the 1999 NFL Draft, the same year the Colts took Peyton Manning first overall, took Brandon Burlsworth in the 3rd round. The Colts were looking to build the team around him and named him a starter right away. When Brandon showed up at rookie camp, he was even better than anyone thought he'd be. But that was the last time Burlsworth stepped on a football field. He was never late, hardly to anything, and you never worried about him making a mistake. He was supposed to be going to church with his mother and brother that Sunday, and never showed up. According to the police report, Burlsworth's car drifted slightly over the center line on the highway, clipped the front fender of a tractor trailer, and then was trying to gain control, crossed the center line again, and hit another tractor trailer. It just didn't seem real. How could this happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? Everyone was devastated from the loss of Brandon. Shortly after his death, Burlsworth's jersey number 77 was permanently retired in a ceremony at Arkansas's first home game of the 99 season. It's only the 2nd number ever retired by the University of Arkansas. Burlsworth's locker in the Razorback locker room is encased in glass, preserved for future players and fans in his honor. Brandon was selected to the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame in 2002. They also made an award in 2010 to honor Brandon and all his accomplishments called the Burlsworth Trophy, giving it to the most outstanding walk-on to begin their career. It was a tragic loss to a great human being, respected and inspiring so many around the world. The story of Brandon Burlsworth, the greatest college walk-on in history. May he rest in peace and have his legacy live on forever. Thank you for watching Krispy Sports Leaks. I appreciate the love so far, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And as always, until next time, keep it crispy.